Hey YouTube. Well, I'm playing Clash Royale today. Again, if you want to just see that, I'll be showing you my deck and also some playing, just replays, but I'll narrate them this time, unlike last time. If you just want to see that, I'll put in the comment section what time to skip forward to watch that part. Also, at the end of the video, I have some stuff about the channel, so if you're subscribed, you might want to just skip to the end or stay till the end. I don't really care what you do. But Clash Royale is a pretty crazy game. If it took you 10 seconds to make every single deck, then it'd take you roughly 5 million years to make all the different decks. The 15,214,711,438,080 different decks in Clash Royale currently. And by the time you tested, or not even tested, just created every deck, 5 million years later, there'd definitely be at least 1 or 2 updates. Even if the game goes sour quickly for some reason, there'd be added troops, which would add more time to just creating the decks. If you actually wanted to test them in a match, let's say they take each match somewhere like 2 to 4 minutes, then you'd be looking like 80 to 100 million years just to test every single deck. That's a long time. But if you're someone like Molt and you're strongly against the Expo, or maybe there's a different card that you don't want and you're just going to completely ignore it, well, there's, roughly 317 billion decks that would use the card you're avoiding. So you get to skip those. That'd save you a few 100,000 years of testing, which is a lot of time, but not compared to the amount of time that you'd have to use to test every deck. I'm kind of with him. I don't like using the Expo. I don't really care when other people use it though. That's kind of it. So let's get into Clash Royale. I couldn't really get a face cam because I play on my phone Clash Royale, and to get the screen recording on a computer and record with my phone, I just couldn't figure out a good way to do that with a different recording device or a different device to play Clash Royale on that has screen recording capabilities. So sorry about that, but like I said before, let's get into Clash Royale. Alright, so now we're in Clash Royale, and hopefully the sound quality this time around will be a little better. This is the deck that I'm using currently. Arrows, Ice Wizard, Spear Goblins, Hog Rider, Skeletons, Witch, Barbarians, Free Spell. It's been working really well for me. If you want to use it, I'm fine with that. Maybe you want to make changes of your own because you do see a place where the deck might be better. You might notice that it doesn't have any buildings in it. It's not that I don't like buildings, it's just I'm not very, I don't know, I just don't really like using buildings. I've used them before, just don't really like them. Anyway, enough about buildings. It also doesn't have anything in the air. So a great counter to this deck is a bomb tower. Maybe it'd be good to put minions instead of spear goblins or something like that. That might make this better. I actually might try that. Yeah, so I was in Arena 6 and I dropped down to Arena 5. So I was trying to figure out, alright, so I'm starting to lose a lot, gotta get out of this funk, because you know how that just sometimes happens. So I tested out tons of different decks, and eventually I got the one that I'm using now, and it got me all the way up to 7. I got to 7 today. So let's jump into a few replays. One that I really liked was this one against Damage 2024. Okay, so I started out with the Spear Goblins because see the Spear Goblins. I'm like, oh, perfect. I can throw these down, see if he'll just waste elixir and ignore them. Still wait for me to do the first move like some people do. And his Spear Goblin hut kind of has the same effect that my Spear Goblins did. I ended up actually wasting elixir. So I decided to do a quick little rush with a Hog, a Witch, and an Ice Wizard. I felt like it was a pretty good, but dropped the Valk. That was pretty bad to my push. Pushed a little bit too hard at the beginning and didn't really get much done. I'm like, oh no, gotta place the barbs. Place the barbs down, and I arrow it, thinking I gotta at least weaken this. Definitely gonna take my tower. and the prince gets that hit in on my tower, the double damage rush. That was pretty bad, and I felt like, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose this definitely. But gotta stay in it. So I dropped my spear gobs to take down the balloon and the witch. He freezes, but not a super effective freeze. He only got off one hit, I think, was it? Maybe two. So I start pushing on the left side, even though the right side has less life, just kind of because my stuff went to the left. And that Valk, dang, the Valk does quite some work on this deck. So I drop some barbs to pull over the Valk so I won't get any hits off of that tower. And I place my Hog Rider to just get some damage off. Looks like he gets the 2 or 3 hits. I wasn't really paying too much attention. But yeah, he gets some good hits off of that tower. And I drop the skeletons to stop the Prince Rush. Freezes it, that's fine. I'll be unfrozen in time to do some damage. That Hog actually worked great as a distraction because everything started hitting it, didn't go after the tower. The dragon still gets off a few hits, but at least the prince didn't get off some. Maybe took off 1 hit from the dragon just from wasting its time. I wasn't really thinking too much when I placed that Hog though, just kind of placed it randomly. And that prince, once again, it gets that charge off. That's pretty bad for me. Gets my tower down to 678 and freezes. But, it's the prince is low, so all I have to do is get off a few hits. And I got that push going up on the left that he, he didn't even pay attention to. Sorry, something in my throat. That's gross. Sorry, you guys. And so that part that I wasn't narrating about got some hits off of the crown and the right tower. But he still has that 678, so I gotta be careful. I'm just gonna completely ignore the Valk because it's not gonna get very much damage off. And I'm gonna push hard on this side because I'm thinking, alright, this is where I'm gonna win. This is a pretty good push. So I'm just going with everything that I got. I freeze it just so they can't get hits off of me, and they actually take out almost that entire group except for the Ice Wizard and Witch. But I place another Witch, and it's pretty much done for him. Another Ice Wizard. It doesn't really matter what he's doing right now. He'll just be done. And that would be the end of that replay. One with 8 seconds of overtime left. So definitely a comeback. If you ever get a tower taken away, just play defensively until they make a mistake and push hard. Let's see. This one was also interesting. It's much different than anything that I've done before. So I pushed with the Hog at the beginning to try and just get some hits off at the beginning, see if he'll waste elixir. He didn't do too much wasting. And I kind of got punished for the beginning push because he was able to counter push pretty hard, but once again he pushed too hard himself just like I did, so that's on ×4. But that's okay. So I freeze it, get some hits off, send some arrows, and I actually arrow 3 times, just try and slow down his group as much as I can. 3 arrows for the crown win. Don't know why I had that one on ×4, but pretty much just arrow 3 times. Never really use your arrows like that. It's not very smart, but it just happened to be like, I don't know, I just felt like doing it that way that time. Okay, so once again, I dropped the Spear Goblins at the beginning. I love starting with Spear Goblins. So a lot of times they'll waste elixir waiting for me to make a move right here. He doesn't waste any time, drops both the minion horde and the balloons. I wish I got the balloon with that too. Got a little bit of damage off of it, but I didn't. I only got the minion horde. Because then maybe I would have stopped the bomb from the balloon from dropping that bomb on the tower right when it got there. So once again, I start my counter push like I usually do. Freezes it. And those skeletons actually do some pretty good work on that Hog. I only got off 1 hit with it because of it. that is great on his part. Probably should have said well played. I did not though. So that Valk is at half health, and I place 1 elixir skeletons just to bring it over, stall it for a little bit, and take it out. I felt pretty proud of myself for that move, just pulling over the Valk with skeletons, because that's I don't know how much the Valk costs, but I definitely won that elixir trade. Shoots the rocket, takes out all the barbs and does damage. I say wow, because that was just a perfectly placed rocket. Didn't miss a single barb. But now I know, unless he has the mirror, he's probably not going to be able to do it again. So I place the witch by the tower. And he rushes with the balloon. He's going for both sides, which is kind of interesting. It kind of made me have to go for both sides. And I was able to counter that balloon with Ice Wizard and Gobs. I laugh at him because I stopped his push on the opposite side. It's kind of rude to laugh, but I just don't really get why he was doing that. So I felt like laughing. So now I kind of have damage on both towers, and going for the left tower would be more beneficial to me. And I play some skeletons, not really smart because they just get eaten up by the Valk. Should have placed the barbs, but it turned out fine because, you know, they're only 1 elixir, so you don't get punished too hard for that mistake. And now I figure, you know, I already have the Ice Wizard there, might as well just push the right side with the witch. So he places the Valk, which, once again, pretty deadly to this deck. Try and pull it over the skeletons again, but don't do as good of a time this time as I did last time. Also just trying to get some troops down so that I can try and get troops out to take out that balloon. And dang, that balloon got off 2 hits. That was not good. You know, get some Ice Wizards up there. So lucky I got the Ice Wizards. I still don't even have the P.E.K.K.A. or the Expo, but I got Ice Wizards, so I guess my luck evens out in getting the Ice Wizard, but not getting anything else. Those are pretty good arrows. Took out a minion horde and a bunch of skeletons. That definitely saved this game, along with many other things. You really get punished for making mistakes. So I knew that he had the freeze, which is why I decided to place the Spear Goblins and Ice Wizard far apart so that he wouldn't be able to freeze the tower, Spear Gobs, and Ice Wizard. You'd have to choose between those, which made it so I was able to still attack with my Ice Wizard while his balloon was frozen. And I happened to get him with the arrows. So I had my freeze ready in case that balloon got too close, if you noticed at the end of that. But my witch happened to take out that tower. I was kind of surprised with that, like tons of damage from the witch. Probably wasn't expecting it to do that much, which is why he was just trying to push himself. Ended up not working out too well for him. And that's pretty much it. I'll let you see the deck again. Thanks for watching. Okay, so as for this channel, I saw a video that said you shouldn't ever apologize if you miss a date that you said you'd upload on, but I'm saying sorry because I disagree with that. Next time I ever have a day where I won't record, I'll warn you guys at least 2 weeks in advance. And hopefully uploading 2 days in a row slightly makes up for that. But, you know, sorry. I'll be better. Bye, YouTube.